Hi, and welcome back to the Self-Actualization in the Age of Crisis Chapter Summary Series. I'm your host, Ron Rivers, and today we're going to be discussing Chapter 2, Partner and Parenting, subsection The Child. So the child struggles with the same challenges today that they struggle with throughout their entire history of being, which is that the child is born into a world, this tongue-tied prophet, right? This bundle of divinity that has no way of expressing or directing its time experience. So it's ultra vulnerable and entirely dependent on the circumstances that it's born into, both in the material circumstances, like the system surrounding it, and the immaterial, like the love that their parents possess the capacity to give them. As self-actualizers, we embrace a reality where the child is an individual, right? Fully divine, yet unmolded, like unmolded clay. All of that rooted in their capacity to choose within the immediate present, right? To further align themselves with the relational universe governed by the single truth. Therefore, as parents, we assume unlimited and infinite potential from our child, really, only dictated by the direction of their focus and energy over time. Now, a parent is really responsible for developing their child's ability and their awareness to kind of be aware of that fact and their kind of capacity to act in accordance with their vision over time. That's our primary goal as a parent. It's not to reinforce our own values on the universe. That's really critical and a common dogma that we must overcome. The child is not a being to serve the intent of the parent, okay? And that's very common in the Dominion and Salvation religions. And it's a very common trope throughout humanity, even our immediate present, that really diminishes the capacity, agency, and access the child will have over time. So I really want to emphasize that. Now, being a parent is difficult, though. I mean, there's no way about it. It's tremendously challenging in a wide variety of ways. No one wants to be a bad parent. Everyone's doing their best. But that's not really possible, right? Doing our best isn't possible when we inhabit a crisis of information, truth, and trust, where we can't trust the majority of our information streams, and many people have kind of gone so far down the rabbit hole that they think everything else is wrong, and their little unique kind of slice of conspiracy is correct, and this is what they teach their children, really setting up extreme disadvantage for the child over time. So again, I want to emphasize the total rejection of the dogma that the child is intended to further the beliefs of the parent. As someone who's a self-actualizer, as someone who strongly believes in the single truth and relational universe, my child will certainly grow up against it, right? There's certain things that we can't deny. They're going to be influenced by my beliefs over time. However, I want to strongly emphasize they will never be coerced. There will never be any sort of demand or framework of punishment that they must follow these beliefs. The intention is to teach the child to have a dialectic, both internal dialogue and experience with the other, where they can evaluate ideas from multiple perspectives and make the best decision for them. Now, when we think about how we prepare a child for this kind of lifestyle and really kind of to transcend the crisis, it's really it starts early, right, with communication. It's one of the most fundamental things we can do to empower a child. And I discussed some methods in the text of how you can really prepare youth to communicate early and often. But the quicker we get them communicating, the earlier they begin to express their divinity, their exploration, their imagination, their curiosity, all things that help develop them as a person and help them expand their experiences within the immediate present. Ultimately, when it comes to a child, as a self-actualizer, what we want, there's really only one ultimate demand we can make, which is that whatever direction they ultimately choose to pursue, we as parents want to fuel and support that direction to the greatest degree possible, because the only thing we ask is that whatever direction you choose, you raise a storm.